IGW, NAT gateway, then 2 EC2 instances, right? And we tested that, we tested everything, and then later I destroy everything. I made it zero again. So no issues with that. Okay. So now today what we are going to see. So I hope VPC is very clear. If you haven't done the lab, utilize this weekend. Okay. So Salman Bhai Nazim, I want you guys to post in the group that yes, I did this lab, because this
Sure.
lab, if you do this lab right, your confidence level will be very different.
Sure.
Okay, please do this lab. If you see, if you have any challenge, because when you start the practice, then only the problems will come. Then you will ask.
Correct.
Okay, while when I do, because I'm doing it since last 2 years, so mostly I will not get that much challenges and error, because I know how to fix it. But when you do first time your with your hand, when you like dirt your hands with this, so you will get a proper experience. Okay, what is NAT gateway? What is the dependency? If you try to delete that, it will ask you, please remove it. There is a dependency with the routing table, so you will go to the routing table and you will remove it from there, then you will delete from. So this dependencies you need to experience this one. Okay, so one time if you do this lab, so this will be very good. Okay, now, so today what we are going to discuss, the first thing.
Salim bhai,
Mhm.
before you start, can you just go back to the slide that you used yesterday, the paint? I have a very
Oh,
quick
one
question on that.
second. One sec. I think I did not save that.
Oh, you didn't say, no, just now it was there. Few seconds.
No, I did not save that.
Okay, that's fine. So my question was like, you have shown the block of ACL, right? Going from private subnet to the from public subnet to the private subnet.
Mhm.
So ACL, when you configure the ACL, is it like common for both?
Okay,
That's my
now
question.
our today's lecture is based on ACL only.
Okay, fine. I'll wait. I'll
Okay.
pass my question. Thank you.
Okay, now. So what we are going to do today? Uh, we will create one VPC. Okay, one VPC 10.0.0.0/60. Okay, and under the VPC we will create one subnet. Okay. What is that subnet? Subnet will be, we will use public subnet only, public subnet, and it will be 10.0.1.0/24. I will use that. I will use any one availability zone, and I will put a public subnet there. Next, we will create IGW. Okay, then we will create a routing table. This is because these steps are common. Okay, then we will again create IGW, internet gateway. Okay, to access this, then you will be having, oh, sorry, then there will be internet. This IGW will be connected to the internet. Okay, and then when you connect it like this, and from the routing table of this routing table, you will give point default route towards IGW. The same lab, IGW. Okay, and here a routing table, RT. Okay, so routing table here, and now one more thing is network ACL. Network ACL. It will be before availability zone. So it will control whole subnet. Okay, we'll create one network ACL. Then what we will do, we will create one EC2 instance under this subnet. Okay, EC2 instance. One of my student, he told me, Nadeem bhai, why you're still using the old paint? Why don't you use 3D paint? Now that software got changed, right? So I said, I'm comfortable with this. So even in the same diagram, if I'm able to deliver things with this old one, so why I need a 3D picture and all? So that's a proper. So it's always good to use the latest tools and all, but fine, right? It is not vulnerable. I will make sure the tool which I'm using it should not be vulnerable. If it is, then we can go ahead and upgrade it. So the next thing is network ACL, and here we will have a security group. So now security group. Okay, so what we will do, security group. So generally, if you recall yourself, what we do in security group for the inbound connection, we open generally RDP, right? We open RDP, and from internet you will by sitting here, you from internet you by using the public IP address, you will access this machine RDP. So are we clear with this? Okay. So we do
Yes,
RDP
ma'am.
from here. Yeah, okay. So we do RDP on the public IP address, and because we allowed in the security group that please open that port. Rest everything is blocked. So now what we will do, and network ACL. Network ACL is when you create a VPC, a network ACL will come there. But by default, it will allow any. It will allow any inbound, any outbound traffic, any. Okay. So what we will do, we want to see, and network ACL will come into picture before before it hit to the instance. So as I told, this will be network ACL will be the first, and then this is the second. So if suppose RDP is blocked here itself in network ACL, then there is no mean of allowing RDP here, because in the first step itself it will block. If ICMP is blocked here, then there is no mean of thing here, allowing here. So what we will do to test it, we will create this lab VPC subnet IGW routing table, and we will create the instance. And once create the instance, then we will play with the network ACL. So what we will do, we will open everything here. In the security group, we will say any. Okay, any, and then we will control this instance from network ACL rule. Okay, right, by default it is any, so we will control our traffic from network ACL. So this is what the whole objective is. So are we clear with what we are doing today?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Before I start, me connect my charger so it will not disturb me. Let's go back here. Okay, so I'm into my console. So let me go to the VPC. Let me show you EC2 tab, also VPC. Okay, when you right click, so it will be in, it will open into another tab. So EC2 instance. So always make sure once you click any service, so you will get prompt into the dashboard, EC2 dashboard. So make sure you should not have any running instances. no elastic IP addresses. Okay, and no snapshots, no volumes. Security group is fine, it will not charge to you. Even key pair also fine, but these things should not be always. Once you practice, delete it, okay, to avoid the charges. So I don't have anything in the EC2. Then if I go back here to VPC, yes, so I'm into the VPC, virtual private cloud. This is our networking part. So you can see here one VPC by default, subnet 6, routing table 1, internet gateway 1. So these are all network ACL 1. So here make sure you should not left the internet gateway. Also you should not left NAT gateway, because to the NAT gateway elastic IP will be associated, so that will charge. So always make sure once you practice, delete it. If you keep the VPC as it is, that's fine, but better. Even I also like once I do the practice, I will delete my VPC, because you will get the how you are building. So you should know, you should aware about how to destroy that. Okay, so now let's go back and quickly launch VPC. Oops, sorry. Okay, so let me go to your VPC. Okay, here we can see the default one which Amazon created. So I want to create my own. Okay, so I will say Nadeem VPC. Okay, then 10.0.0.0, because when you prepare, you can put your name, Salman VPC, Nazim VPC, make your name famous on Amazon कि भाई सलमान के नाम का VPC बना हुआ है नाजिम. So feel happy. Okay. So you are creating a boundary that dot 0/24. And when you do the practice, so please use this subnet. So /24 means it will be a small subnet with 253 options. Okay, and then create the subnet. Okay, so if you just clear the filter and look at here again. So now see public subnet I created, subnet ID, VPC, and CIDR. And in the right side, it will tell you available IP addresses. Can you see 172.31? This subnet, per subnet, you can make 4091 IP addresses. But with the 10.0/4, you can make 251. So it's a smaller one. Okay, so slash how this the slash will increase, number of IP address will increase. Remember this point. If you put /19/18, so this will be in 8,000, 10,000. Okay, so this is a subnetting actually. Okay, so now I have built the subnet. Now quickly routing table. Okay, so when you create a VPC, right, automatically routing table will come in picture. See, this is the routing table, nothing VPC which is associated. So you can always give the name here, so you will understand. I will say public RT means routing table. Okay, and by default, your all the subnets will be associated there. So if I go here, look at the routes. So by default, it will tell you your entire network 10.0 whatever the CID or VPC subnet, it will tell you. So it means you can reach out within 10 dot network to any machine with this routing table tell you. But there is no information. If suppose one of the machine it is trying to go to Google, so Google IP address is something different, 69 dot something. So that subnet is not here. That's why we provide zero dot, yeah, default route towards internet. So now subnet association, make sure this check mark should be there. So edit subnet association. Okay, there is only one thing is there. See, if you are using only one routing table for your VPC, then you no need to do this subnet association. Okay, why? Because if you look at here, what it is saying, explicit subnet association. Okay, if you have multiple routing table, then do it. Otherwise, subnet without explicit association. The following subnet have been explicitly associated with any routing table, are therefore associated to the main routing table. So this is a main routing table because it is associated. It is created by the default VPC. You cannot delete this routing table. When you create a VPC, when you delete the VPC, this routing table will be deleted automatically. Why? Because this is the main routing table. Okay, can you see the main is yes? If you create another routing table, it will tell you no, it is not a main. You can delete that. But this main routing table means, so by default, if I create tomorrow another subnet, so that subnet will also part of this particular routing table. So whatever the route, let's say you have given default routes here, so all internet towards IGW. So the next subnet tomorrow, if suppose you add another subnet, so that will also get the same route. Okay, so the moral of the story is, when you create a VPC, a routing table will get created, which is called as a main routing table, and all the subnets by default they will part of this main routing table. So if you are maintaining multiple routing table, then you need to explicitly check mark that. Okay, like yesterday we did for the public, we check mark the public only. For the private, we check mark the public private only. But now today we are not creating a private, so we are just looking for one routing table. That's fine. And next is move on, internet gateway. We have default internet gateway. Okay, this is nothing but to access the internet, inbound and outbound connection. So one internet gateway can associate to one VPC only. So this is a default IGW. So it will be associated with your default VPC. So now we want to create next create internet gateway. Okay, so I will say Nadeem IGW. Okay, so just create it. Okay, and see, when you create in the green mark, what it is saying, the following internet gateway was created. You can now attach to a VPC to enable the VPC to connected with internet. Can you see? If it means, if you don't attach IGW to your routing table or to your VPC will not get internet connection. Remember this point, very important. You have to attach a internet gateway to your VPC. So what I will do, two options, either you can go here and right click action, do that, or I can just they are giving this prompt, right? So just say attach to a VPC. So it will ask you which VPC you want to attach. See, there is only one option it is saying. Why? Because default VPC, it's one IGW already assigned, so it will not, it will give you one option. Just say yes. So you just need to attach the VPC. Yes. Our IGW is created and it got assigned to our VPC. So if I go back to internet gateway, So I can see here. See this Nadim IGW, it is attached to home VPC. See, if suppose I'm going to delete this. See IGW, when I go and delete it, see delete option is, can you see it is grayed out. Grayed out means it is not allowing you. So why it is telling you? So it is asking you to detach from the VPC first, then delete it. So you need to detach it from the VPC, then this delete option will be enabled for you. So now we are good with IGW. Now the next step is you need to go and to the routing table and give a default route towards internet, towards IGW. So now in the routes I will go edit route, add route. So um, Nazim, what will happen if I don't give default route in my routing table? What will be the impact?
Hello.
Yeah, what
Uh,
will be impact if I don't give default route?
so we need to tell them this traffic where is going from. So it is necessary to give the default route,
No, if I
especially where
don't give,
uh,
if I don't give default route, so what will be impact? Why it is necessary? Yeah, that's my question is.
uh,
Okay, fine, no problem. Salman bhai?
For to access the internet. Mm.
Exactly. Default route will point towards internet. So if you don't give, if
destination.
yeah, if suppose you don't require internet access to
Yes.
inbound and outbound, then don't give default route in your routing table. That's it. So your entire subnet is free from the internet. Okay, but and if suppose you need uh, only outbound connection, only browsing you want, then use the NAT gateway. Yesterday we have seen that NAT gateway. Yes, here we go. NAT gateway, and to use the NAT gateway, when you create a NAT gateway, it will ask you to take the elastic IP address. You need to buy elastic IP address and associate it. Okay, so now we are good here. So we created the given default route towards IGW, and our lab is ready. So first parts, second, then third and fourth, right? And also in routing table we have given fifth point. So we are, our network is ready. Okay, now, so before more creating the EC2 instance, I will show you one thing. In the VPC itself, there is something called network ACL. See, now the network ACLs are two. So when I go here, okay, so can you see this is the network ACL which is associated to the Nadim VPC. So let me give a name here. Okay, so what it is saying, by default, all the inbound rules. See what it is saying, inbound rules. All traffic sourcing from zero. Zero means who? Zero means you, me, and your 10 dot network. Everyone is allowed. Inbound. It is inbound. And similarly, outbound. From this server, if suppose if you create any instance, the instance can go out any default. The default means 000. It means you open the door. See, this is your room. Okay, this is your room. Okay, you have a door here. You have a door here. Okay, so it means in the network ACL by default it will allow anything in, anything out, in, out. There is no restriction. It is like a open to everyone. Okay, network ACL, that's what. So that's why AC, ACL is there. Network ACL is associated with your VPC. Okay, in network ACL, if you go here, see subnet association. Can you see the option here? Subnet association, edit public subnet, edit subnet association. Can you see by default it is checked? This is the default network ACL for this VPC. You cannot dissociate its subnet using this page. Instead, edit subnet association from network ACL page. So if I go here, network ACL action. See, edit inbound outbound rules, edit subnet association. If I go here, no, still I don't have that option. See, this check mark is grayed out. So that's what. So it will be a default and it will be associated to whatever the subnet in the VPC. It will in your routing table. So it will impact everyone. So that's why what they do. This is the first layer of security, right? So that's why they open every. Okay, because it is again this is the optional security. Okay, it is not compulsory that you need to use a network ACL. Okay, there are many options we will explore later, but this is related to the this one. So now what we will do, and in if you go left in the VPC, you will see in this. Okay, if I go to the VPC tab, so in the security, can you see they are saying network ACL and the security group. Okay, so now what we will do, now our network ACL we have seen it is allowed to any. Okay, so now we will create a instance. So how to create the instance? Go to EC2. Okay, I am in the EC2. Go to instances, then launch the instance. Free tier, just take Microsoft. T2 micro, general purpose VPC. Here you need to select under the Nadim VPC, and there is only one subnet, public subnet. See, yesterday we were saying private subnet, and can you see the check here? It is showing disabled. What does it mean? Disable means we haven't enabled this public subnet. So there is an option here to enable. So when I use this option, right? So I will get a public IP address on my server. So I will choose enable it. Or two options: either you can do it globally on the subnet level or machine level. From here, assign public IP automatically. So rest all the options same. Then I will use the same drive. A tag, I will say name public. So, okay. Next, security group. So this is it. So now we are associating. You see this one. So now what we are doing is we are creating a security group here and binding towards our EC2 instance. So now what we have, the first layer of security network ACL, it is open. It is, you can say it is not coming into picture. Traffic will hit there, but it will allow any. So there is no mean of this network ACL right now. So that's why we are allowing in security group. What we are saying in the security group, we are saying. So let me see if we have existing one. So what we'll say, let's say public SC, public security group. So what we are saying, RDP, okay, RDP, any2 custom and all. So let's do one thing like yesterday we did, right? So all ICMP, or let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. So what I will do, I will put it any all traffic. Okay, all traffic 0.0. So I know this is the bad security. Okay, but we want to test something because I'm opening my security group, and now our objective is we need to control it from the network ACL. Okay, that's what I want to show you. So don't never ever open all traffic to the world. Okay, just for the practice. And even Amazon will give you the disclaimer. Rules with the source allow IP address to access your instance. We recommend setting security group rules to allow access known IP addresses only. Okay, so I will put here testing. Do not try in production, else you will be fired. Okay, now review and launch. Okay, launch. So key is important. So when you say key, I will use the existing one. Next gen key yesterday I created. I acknowledge this instance. So your instance is are launching now. So if I want to see the status, I can go here. I can say view instances. So the name, it is showing public server. When you click here, so can you see you are able to see the IP addresses which you receive. Our subnet is 10.0.1. See it, the 212 they have given the IP address. Okay, the public IP address, see 3.231. This is the public IP address we are going to use. We are going to do RDP on this machine, this IP address. Okay, so rest all things are here. So it will take few minutes to launch, or it should be instance type should be the checks the status pending. If you create any instance, so always just have a look on the details, what are stuff they are giving, instance ID, public IP, private IP. Then once your interest, okay, now you even see the DNS, private DNS. Also there will be public DNS also. So right now I think your instance is not ready. Then IAM role is something we haven't checked. That this is also comes under uh, identity and access management. Okay, IAM, identity access management. So you can define the role instead of like who can access, who can do what. So you can define the IAM role, and you can associate here. Then this server instance is under which VPC, under which subnet. Okay. Then AMI ID, which in Amazon machine um, like it is using. So AMI is this one. Okay, and monitoring. Can you see the monitoring is disabled here? So we can open the monitoring. We can create a alert, and we can show that. Then terminate protection disabled. So you can allow that terminate protection means who can terminate and this instance and all. So you can save your like key pair. See next, you required next gen key to access this server instance. Sorry, don't say server, it is an instance. Okay. Then RAM is owner. Who is the owner? See, this is my account number 5500 to 2000. So if you look at here, see 5500 to 2000. So when you create your Amazon account, so you will be having dedicated account number. So your billing and your all resources will be related, mapped to that account number. Let's say you created one instance and you forgot. Okay. So they will identify you with this account number. Okay. So let me see the what is the status. Refresh it. Here we go. Now see our instance is ready. भाई खाना तैयार है आप खा लो अब ऐसा. So now what I will do, 2x2 check is ready. So the first thing first, public. So Salman bhai, Nazim, and you can also try this one because it is open to the public. So what is the IP address? 3 dot. I'm putting in the notepad. or sticky. The IP address is 3.231.203.254. Right now you cannot ping it, but what I want you to just go ahead and start uh, ping, saying that ping that particular IP address, okay, and -t. So it will start continue pinging. So can you please both whoever using the laptop, please start this ping. Okay. Now the next thing, the same IP address, please try to do RDP. Okay. When I do the RDP,
Anyway, you want us to do RDP or
both
ping? What do you
just
want?
put the RDP, put the
RDP.
ping like this, -t, and leave it. So it will be request timeout for you because the firewall itself, Windows firewall itself blocking it. So on it, then also try RDP. It should prompt you to administrator. So till that time, what I will do, I will get the password from here, connect, then RDP client, and get password. It will ask you to please put the private key. So where is the private key here? Next chain key. And once I provided decrypt the password, I got the password. So I will put it here. Okay. So I got the password, and administrator is this one. So let me, yes, RD. So now see, this is open to world. So let me just share you that password in the chat. So someone from you, can someone please help actively in the lab? Who will do? Nazim or Salman or Nitika? Who will do? Please, I want someone to take the quick testing because we want to see many things in the from the network controlling and all.
I can do it. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just bring up pen and a paper just to note down the IP addresses. It will be much
I
faster.
already put in the chat an IP address and administrator. This will be the username, and the password for RDP is I'm just putting in the chat the key. So
So you want me to do the RDP to this one,
yes,
right?
yes. So when you do, my RDP session will get disconnected. So that I want to show. See, guys, right now I already RDP to the machine. Okay. So Salman, before you hit
Yes.
enter, just let me know. CMD. I'm from the machine. I'm checking. This is my Amazon instance. Okay. So I can verify my IP address. IP config. The IP config 10.0. This is my private IP address I got. Ping 8.8.8.8 hyphen T. Can you see? It is pinging to internet. So, but I am unable to ping this server. I'm able to RDP but not ping because ping is blocked on the Windows firewall side. So let me allow that. So even anyone from this class, they can ping to this machine. Not only class, and opening firewall is a bad practice, but we are learning. So testing is fine. It is fine for us. It is allow only for the testing purpose. Firewall check status. This is the same or this one control. Okay. So turn off Windows Defender. Turn off. Turn off. Say okay. So now the moment you stop the firewall, can you see? I started pinging. Even you can also see Salman Nazim. You can see your ping now. 3.231.203.254. You will be able to ping it. Guys, you there?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this pinging.
Okay. So can you try RDP also now? RDP to the machine. When you try RDP, so one time one RDP connection from one user. So my session will get disconnected. So just so we can show that this is open to the world. Anyone can RDP to this machine if they have a key. And key can be break.
Yeah, Nazim might have to do it. My system is hanging out,
Okay.
hanging.
Nazim, you are doing with laptop or mobile?
Through laptop only.
Okay, that's good. So can you go to RDP and try RDP to this machine? 3.231,
1 second.
because this testing is required.
Ping.
Okay, fine. Okay. So why we are able to ping? Because in our network sorry security group we allow any to any. There is no blocker. Okay. Even network ACL also allowing any to any, and security group also are now allowing any to any. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to block ICMP on network ACL itself. So let's see how it goes. So what I will do, if you go and look at here, okay, you see, okay, now security group. First look at the security group. Okay, this is the one, right? So what it is saying, this is saying, see, inbound any to all traffic is allowed, and outbound also all traffic is allowed. Okay, so now now there is no mean of security group now. So let's go ahead, and even in the network ACL it was also allowing any to any, right? So now what I'm going to do in the network ACL, I'm going to edit the inbound rule. Okay, and what I'm saying instead of all traffic, custom IP for ICMP, I want it should be denied. Okay, and I'm adding another rule saying, let's say 110, and I will say the second rule, I will say okay, all traffic allowed. So first ICMP we are denying, then we are allowing everything. So now let's see what will happen. So once the rule updated, can you see this? The request timeout. Nazim, can you also confirm?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So now, but the only difference here is when you do something on the security group, it will be related to this instance. But when you are doing here, right, so it will be for the whole subnet. Network ACL is for the whole subnet. So if tomorrow you have 10 machines here under this subnet, so for all 10 machines, ICMP will be blocked. So that's the difference. Security group is associated to the instance, but network ACL associated to your subnet. So now what we did, the first rule we tested ICMP block, okay, inbound. So now let's do one thing. See, okay, now let's I'm in the instance, okay. Let me browse Google or do some browsing, and we will test the outbound connectivity, how the outbound will work. I will show you. See, inbound and outbound, please be very careful, be very clear. Inbound means you are going into the server, like I'm doing RDP, so I'm going in. Outbound means I'm going to the Google from the server, from the instance I'm going to the Google. It means I am doing outbound. Can you see? I'm into the Google. Why? Because I have used HTTPS port outbound. HTTPS port outbound. So now and even if you do any other website, so it will be HTTP and HTTPS. So what I am going to do in my network ACL, okay, even security group is allow any to any, but in the outbound, what any traffic towards internet is allowed. So what I'm going to do, edit outbound rules, okay. For the testing purpose, let me uh, put here https https deny, okay. Also I will add another rule 110, because all the traffic will be either HTTP or HTTPS, your internet traffic browsing. So I'm using HTTP, so this is also deny, and rest everything I'm allowing. So let's say rule number 120. So I will say all traffic to be allowed. Save changes. So this will affect where? This will affect only on your EC2 instance. So let me close this browser, open it again, Google. Can you see what is happening? Waiting for google.com, your ACL network ACL is blocking the outbound traffic. You cannot do it. See, can't reach this page. Who stop you? Network ACL is stopping you. See, he tried with the HTTP also, because if I block only HTTPS, so it will try HTTP. So I block both, I deny both. So now you cannot browse, your machine cannot browse anything. So see, network, okay, but this, what is the difference? This network ACL is associated to the entire subnet. So whatever, if suppose you have a 10 instance here, all 10 instances cannot browse anything because network ACL is blocked there. And remember this one, Amazon inbound and outbound rules, they are like okay, inbound and outbound rules, it is like a number. So it will first, it will hit second, third. First it is showing deny, then allow, like this. So if I go back to my network ACL, okay, now even we can try or test one more thing. In the outbound rules, see, okay, inbound rules, let me show you one more thing. So right now I drop the ping, right? Okay, so let me, and currently I am able to RDP to this machine. So let me do one thing. Let me do one thing. Let me stop. Let me block RDP. Where is RDP, Mr. RDP? Okay, RDP 3389. So what I'm going to say, RDP is denied, and then I will allow all the traffic. Let's see what will happen. Okay, sorry, rule number 1123. Now see here what will happen. Can you see it? I lost the RDP connection. I lost all the RDP. See, I'm unable to do anything because network ACL is blocking that. See? My inbound rule. What is the inbound rule? Here, deny, deny. So my all the servers, it will impact entire network. So within your subnet, whatever the subnet associate to this particular ACL, so they all ICMP and RDP will be blocked. See, RDP is blocked here. So if I want to open it once again, so just go ahead. No, no, we want RDP to be open. Go fast, go fast. So what I will do, immediately I will go here, remove it. Save. Just wait here. So it will try attempting, and you will be back to see. You are back to your ACL. Enable all my outbound connectivity also. So let's go here. Inbound. I will just remove these rules. Deny, deny. I will remove this, and at least one rule should be there. Okay, and I will give the number also 100. Let's 100. So save changes. So you modify outbound rules also. So let's go ahead and to the Google. Just refresh here. Can you see? Google came back outbound. You are controlling from the network ACL, not from the security group. But the difference only when you controlling network ACL, so it will be for the whole subnet. And when you control it from the network ACL security group, it will be related to that particular instance. So now see here, and there is I think one more rule is there. Inbound, I put the ICMP. I think deny the ICMP. So let me remove that also, and we can test. Now see here. Currently, I am unable to ping that server. So the moment I remove this rule, let me give 100. Save changes. Now look at here. The moment I allow, see, it started pinging. So it is started pinging. So it is to the entire network. So that's a big difference, inbound and outbound. So now the same thing I can control from security group. Now see, I'm in the security group. Okay, now where I am, I'm into security group, and okay, nothing. This one. Okay, so here what I said, allow any to any. Okay, so the same thing, inbound. So currently it is showing allow any to any. So but what I'm going to do, I'm going to add rules. So I will say drop all the ICMP packet. Is it something disturbed screen I'm getting? Okay. So in the security group, you just need to allow what you want. All the traffic will be denied. So now what I'm doing is all traffic ICMP. Then I will just open the RDP. Okay, and if you want RDP, okay, anywhere, and this is also fine. So save changes, save rules. So now then the correct submit. Inbound rules. ICMP, any source. Okay, okay, okay. One second. So let me go here. EC2, and if I go to my the same place, security group, you can go from here or from other side. Both are same. Nothing is seen. Inbound rules. Okay, so you are allowing here ICMP. So let me do one thing. I don't want ICMP to be allowed. Only RDP I'm allowing. Save rules. Look like some control because it's still allowing. So it is not good. So I'm on the right security group. Yesterday also I think we noticed this one, right? Maybe some enhancement happen or what for ICMP. That's why ICMP is always not good for the testing. Okay, because this is a public, right? So you cannot just trust on protocol. That's why the RDP or some protocol is required to testing. But so what I can do is, okay, I'll show you about the ICMP. Able to do anything. The screen will also go slow. See, I'm unable to do anything. Connection is lost. So the same thing you can control from security group, but it will be very nearest to your system. Okay, it will be nearest to your system. So now see inbound rule. Let me add back the RDP. So what I'm going to do is I will just open RDP and I will open to my IP. Okay, so this will be more secure. So see my no, this session will come back again. Reconnecting. Okay, now see my session came back. So internet traffic also you can control from here to the particular machine. So now here currently all the outbound traffic is allowed, right? All traffic. So let me drop the HTTP and HTTPS. No, no. So all traffic, right? So let me just uh, something instead of SSH. Let me say something here. Only ICMP. Okay, only ICMP outbound I'm allowing. But with this, no. So you need to then allow HTTP, HTTPS, and some ports, some open random ports. All TCP. If you open all TCP, so So 0 to 655. So all HTTPS, all the ports will come here. So I don't want that. Custom TCP. Okay, let me open only 100 not port range. I will open from 100 to 100 to, let's say, 65. And so 65 65535 65535. Okay, so why I'm doing this, I will show you. So I just open this TCP, but you remember HTTP is a port 80, HTTP is a 443. So I did not open that. Okay, 443 will come here, I think. Let me open after 500 to or rest all the ports. Save this. Okay, now let's go back. Okay, so still I have the RDP connection. Oh yes, so now our RDP connection is going on. So let me browse something. Port 80, it is not allowed. Port 443, it is not allowed outbound. So you see the difference. In the network ACL you have option to deny, then allow. But in security group you just allow what you want. That's it. There is nothing to deny there. It means by default everything will be denied. So what I have done here is to block that in internet traffic. So what I did, generally our port 80 and port 443 will be internet browsing. So what I did, I allowed here only above 500. The ports range from 1 to 65,535. So what I did, I just allowed 500 to, so port 443 and 80 I did not allow here. That's why. So rest everything will be denied here, but whatever allow is allowed. So that's why I'm unable to do the browsing here. See, can't fetch. So we what we discuss here, we open both the network ACL security group, okay, and then we controlled RDP inbound and outbound traffic from the network ACL. We tested that successfully. Then we allowed this again, and we tested inbound and outbound from security group. So what is the difference? There is a option. Network ACL is associated to the whole subnet. Security group is associated to the EC2 instance. In the network ACL, you have option to deny, and allow. But in here, you can security group, you can just allow what you want. Rest everything will be denied in the last statement. So that's it. Are we good with network ACL and security group now?
Yes, anyway, one quick question.
Yes.
When you did this allow deny permissions in ACL, right? Now, hypothetically, if somebody makes a mistake and does, adds two rows there for RDP, one allow and one deny. So does deny take precedence over allow?
First, whatever the first rule. If suppose the rule number 100 is allow, then it will allow. If rule number and deny is after that, then it will allow. You can test that. You can test it. So the preference is number.
Okay.
So you can do that practice. And what I'm doing, so you have very good content now for the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, you have excellent labs to work on. See, in the VPC, you can play around with all the stuffs. Okay, create the VPC subnet, routing table, internet gateway, elastic IP, NAT gateway, and then play with the network ACL security group. See, lot of stuff. And EC2, you already know those things. So what we will do, Monday, I think, I need to show this one. These are mostly theoretical part, because how to connect our offices and all. So we will see that how it go. So rest all guys, please do the practice. Okay, so I'm stopping